This is a segment that's going to unfold over a couple different layers. We're going to start with TikTok. We're going to move on to an actual journalist who may well be a leftist. I don't know, and I don't care because of how he was treated by the State Department and the previous White House, that run by the people who ran Joe Biden. We'll get to Joy Reid, who's telling the big lie. And I need to be very careful about how I talk about that. Because I don't want my producer, Alex, who's sitting over there. I should get a camera. I should get an Alex cam. So anytime I reference you, I just hit a button. There's an Alex cam. So I'm talking about Alex. People can see him moving around. And because I don't want to pay Alex to do a whole bunch of editing for the YouTube platform. If you're listening to this on audio, you're getting the full thing. You're watching it on Substack, getting the full thing. But because these things end up on YouTube, it's their platform, their publishers. They get to decide what they publish. So I have to be very, very careful how I talk about the big lie with Joy Reid, and very careful about a video we're going to play about some big lie type activity that went on in California. Now, if you would like to have the consistent, absolutely unedited version of this show, that's easy. Go to thetoddhermanshow.substack.com, become a subscriber, and you will get daily video content exclusive to that platform. And there I can cuss. I use the, no, I don't really do that. No, it's not the way we do it. We just get to talk about these things in ways they're not to be discussed on certain platforms. If you're getting the audio show, you're largely already getting that, but without the video. So go to thetoddhermanshow.substack.com. There's a journalist named Sam Husseini, and I would think that if this were to happen under the Trump administration, I think that there might be a stopping of the world on its axis. All journalists everywhere are jumping up and down until the world dropped out of its ever-loving orbit while they screamed about press freedom. There was no such response because this was a journalist asking questions, or well, rather, trying to ask a question during the last press conference of the beleaguered, corrupt Secretary of State under figurehead Biden, Tony Blinken, who, as you recall, while we were being forced to fund a war that Ukraine can't win, Tony Blinken went over there to play with his rock and roll band. That was important. Here's an actual journalist. Look how he's treated.
2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press? You pontificate about a free press?
So incidentally, if you're not watching the video, you have 3 cops. One of them still, for whatever reason, wearing a woke mask, maybe just to hide his face because he's embarrassed at what he's doing. They're trying to pull an aged man away from the table, and the aged man is winning. Dude has grip strength. By the way, one of the indicators of male potency is grip strength. Dude is potent.
You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I'm asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asking questions. Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process.
Oh, respect the process. Respect the process. While everybody from Amnesty International. From Amnesty International to the ICJ is saying that Israel's doing an extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in The Hague?
I don't agree that Israel is committing, but I agree with that man's right to ask that question. I agree with the right of journalists, even if they're leftists, to ask that question. It's to not be wrestled away. I didn't see Joy Reid talk about this. I didn't see anyone in the press talk about this. Frankly, I don't think I saw conservative media talk about this. Maybe we should try to get that gentleman on the show and let him actually make his point. Joy Reid. She's about to tell the big lie, y'all. The big lie that is a national security risk. That if you tell this lie, you are a fascist. You hate America, and you should just leave. Ladies and gentlemen, from her home set, Joy Reid.
They're even talking about like stealing an election.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's making me rethink whether I do believe like election machines can be hacked. Because I've always been like, you can't hack the election machines, but they're like convincing me, I don't know, maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, to me, in this world, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
There are all these conspiracy theories out there about Trump and whether or not they cheated. I know you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have
wait
to
a minute.
say
I didn't say they didn't. What I said is there is a rational explanation for why Kamala Harris could have lost those swing states and Trump won them. There's a way you can get to those numbers with people staying home or only voting for Trump and not the rest of the ballot. I'm saying there's a history of that. However,
let me hear it, because what
I will say is there was absolute voter suppression that took place, and I consider that cheating. If you think about the voter law in your state of Georgia, that law is anti-voter.
That state that had record turnouts again from black voters. So she cozies right up next to the big lie and rubs her shoulder on the big lie. Says, hey, big lie, look at my eyes. Just this one time, big lie. What if I could show you footage? And just so I don't spend a bunch of my own money making Alex edit this for the tube, what if I just run the footage and look at this and say, what we're watching, apparently let me just say this. This is according to some silly account on Twitter, some dude named George Belzy tweets, and it's sourced, it's coming from an election expert, Real Joe Hoft, host of the Joe Hoft Show weekdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on Frank Speech, Lindell TV, conservative daily author. Okay, so these guys contend, and Alex will put my face up next to this, so I'm doing a critique. These guys contend that what we're watching this is what they describe. Footage has been obtained of an election worker in Orange County, California, counting the same large stack of ballots 3 times on the evening of November 8th. Republicans lost a House seat in Orange County a month after the election, by the way. We don't know if there's a legitimate reason for the worker's actions, but the worker pushed the same batch through the machine 3 times. The real shocker of this entire episode caught on video is that all this occurred after Orange County received a bomb threat and before the workers were removed from the ballot counting facility. Election fraud expert and investigator Real Joe Hoft has said. So they exited the building. See, this is where I have to be super careful. None of this proves vote fraud. None of it. It's just a curiosity. It's just curious. Yeah, I'm tapping my foot, Alex, so sue me. It's just a curiosity, like how in Georgia there was everyone was going to die because the building was flooding. So here's the video, and let's just watch this together, just you and me. So, yep, true enough, woman begins counting a stack of ballots, number 1. There it is, into the machine. She goes to her phone for a bit, and keep your eyes on the pile that's already been run through the machines once. And we're going to do it again. I love the music because it makes it more dramatic. The woman appears to grab the same stack of ballots that already went through the machine once. She's looking through them, and she then proceeds to combine it with the stack that just finished going through. She then runs it through the machine once again. Now, again, maybe she made a mistake. That's tedious work. Maybe she made a mistake. And is it going to happen again? I mean, she couldn't possibly do the same. Wait, hold on. It looks like she's going to do some maintenance on the machine. And once she's done adjusting the machine, she runs the same batch of ballots through for a 3rd time. So maybe they didn't count. Maybe the count wasn't showing up. Maybe there's an innocent explanation for this. But maybe there's not. I hope that President Trump will follow through on his promise to demand that we have paper ballots, and that unless there is a good and reasonable exception as to why you shouldn't do that, go vote on voting day, that we actually make it voting day. If only there was a way to bring God's word to this, but there's not, because elections aren't covered through the Bible. Sorry. Oh, wait! You shall not lie. Use honest weights and measures. Do not have a deceitful heart. Blessed are those whose spirit contains no deceit. Oh, so there is some biblical word about that. There always is. The Bible's always useful for teaching, rebuke, and instruction.